I didn't know much about Tintin at all. I didn't know anything about Tintin until I read a French review in 1981 of Raiders of the Lost Ark that kept comparing my movie to something called Tintin. I did not know what they were talking about. I got one of the books. It was all in French. I don't read French, but I could read the story just based on the illustrations, the amazing artwork, the characters, the humor, the plot. It was all illustrative. It was done by Hergé. I didn't need to read the words. When I got to the end of it, I could see their point. I could see a little bit of it was a bit of a cousin.
Ladies and gentlemen, Peter Jackson, obviously. Welcome to San Diego. Peter, we know you have your hands.
You know, the weird thing is that because Stephen got the rights to Tintin back in 1983, I mean, I was a young filmmaker. I was actually halfway through making Bad Taste back then. And so I read magazines, you know, read stories about Stephen and hear about him making Tintin. So I was a huge Tintin fan. I read the books, collected the books since I was 5 or 6 years old. And I was looking forward to Stephen's Tintin movie. And I was kind of looking forward to it for a quarter of a century. And you know, you can't imagine the mind-blowing moment when Stephen invited me on board. You know, very difficult decision, had to think about it for 2-3 seconds. But it's been an absolute joy.
We wanted the movie to look like the drawings in the Hergé albums and all the Hergé adventures. We didn't want to cast actors to look like the actors we cast and then have everybody say, well, it was good, but they sort of looked like Captain Haddock or like the Thompson twins or like Tintin himself, but it wasn't exactly a direct translation art to art. You're all here because you love art. We all love art. We love art so much we wanted to honor Hergé by using animation to get as close as we could to the characters he invented, not characters that we would then reinvent based on big names, big movie stars that would look like big movie stars.
The great freedom that we had is virtually any movie that you cast, any traditional movie you cast, you know, what the actors look like is obviously an important factor. I mean, it's the talent of the actor, but if they don't look right for the part, then obviously that creates a difficulty. But the wonderful thing with motion capture is that you have the entire casting pool of actors available to you. I mean, you know, this is the only film that you'd ever cast Simon Pegg and Nick Frost as twins, for instance, identical twins. One of the things about Tintin that I'm always excited about whenever I see the movie in its different stages is that it's a film that Stephen personally shot. I mean, he had the camera in his hand the whole time. And so it was almost like shooting the old 8mm films, wasn't it?
It was the closest experience to, because I had to do, I think, because it was it's like a PlayStation game controller with a 6-inch color monitor in between. And you're all completely up to date about this technology, but you look up and you see actors in motion capture suits in a white basketball court we call the volume, but I would look down into the monitor and there would be the characters, the actual, real-time Tintin, not fully animated, that we'll give you a little sample in a few minutes, but enough that I could actually be in the world of Tintin, getting all of my shots and planning all of my angles.
We wanted to start the cinematic life of Tintin, as you could say, with a story that brought Captain Haddock and Tintin together, because for us that relationship was critical. And even though Hergé started the Tintin series without Captain Haddock in the 1930s, by 1939, 1940, he had developed the Captain Haddock character, and so we wanted that meeting between those two to be part of the first film. And that meeting comes from The Crab with the Golden Claws. So we've taken a section of that and we've grafted it into The Secret of the Unicorn as the body of the film, if you like, as the central part of the mystery.
Except for one person, my actually my best friend, George Lucas. This is the best collaboration I have ever had, and we worked, side by side, creatively, making every single decision from the beginning of the screenplay process, written by Stephen Moffat, Joe Cornish, and Edgar Wright.
Nice.
To the approval of all the shots that is ongoing right now. This has been such a wonderful treat for me, a real honor for me to work with this guy. It's just like working with your brother.